As part of a trip to Europe, we flew to Holland and took a train from Amsterdam north to the city of Heerenveen. There we joined our friends Nick and Jan Wooler on board their canal boat, KUAH. We first met Nick and Jan back in 1978 in Papua New Guinea, and we have been sharing boating adventures together on and off ever since. So when they and their partners, Derek and Jill, bought a canal boat in Holland last year, we said, ooh, that would be fun, little realizing that we would be part of the crew on the maiden voyage of KUAH. Nick and Jan's 11.5-meter steel canal cruiser, KUAH, is well equipped and well laid out for the four of us to be comfortable for our 10 days of cruising. In addition, Jan's sister Pammy and her partner Pat had also purchased a canal boat named Shanty. So, we had a flotilla of 2 Australian-owned boats in the Dutch waterways. Our wanderings took us into the labyrinth of canals in the Friesland part of Holland, where the flat land is predominantly used for dairy cow herds. There are immense barns on these farms, many of which have the farmhouse attached to the barn itself. The bigger canals carry commercial traffic, like this big barge. The barges kept us on our toes in passing situations. On the other hand, traditional sailing boats were also out and about and a delight to cross tacks with. Generally, the canals we chose were peaceful, with homes and backyards along the banks, or we would pass through small towns and villages, and often we could tie up for a few hours to stretch our legs and have a look around at the historical old buildings and churches, many of which dated back into the 1600s. Cold weather prompted a stop in a local tavern to linger with hot chocolate and apple pie before setting out on the canals again. Our weather was cold and windy, with all too frequent blasts of rain. So we appreciated a bright sunny afternoon where we could tie up in rural marshland settings with moor hens and ducks to be fed. Surprise! A bunch of sailing school boats come barreling around the corner. With all the good cheeses available in the local markets, Pat decided the time was right for a fondue party, and he would do the cooking. Delicious. Approaching another town brought us up to a toll bridge. Drop €1 into the wooden shoe, please. And under we went. Ready to find a tie-up spot for another walkabout in the town. How lucky we were to be in Holland on National Windmill Day. Windmills are of 2 types. One pumps water out of the fields, and another type grinds the grain as a mill. We found this windmill open to visitors in the town of Woodsend. It was harnessing the power of the very windy day and milling grain that would be sold in the adjacent shop. Much of the mill's mechanisms are driven by the turning of the sails aloft. The gears and such are made of wood, and probably design hadn't changed in hundreds of years. Not only were we delighted at finding a traditional working windmill, it seems that the Dutch also appreciate their traditional sailing barges. Boats like these used to be used for hauling goods around in the canals. Now they mostly haul tourists around and compete in local regattas. Sometimes local boating traffic made it easy for us to get through the opening bridges, and we would find ourselves leading a parade of pleasure boats. A few times we actually found ourselves on top of the bridge, navigating on an aqueduct over the highway below. Nick and Jan are very special friends of ours, and we were so glad to have had this time in Holland with them and their boat KUAH.